And after that happened, we went down to pick up our sea bags to make sure that they got to Olbia, the main city, which is on the other side of Palau, which is about a 45-minute drive. Everything's like from Osceola to Jonesboro in distance around here, or within walking distance. I mean, I'm halfway between two cities right now, right next to, I think, the radio tower for the local Italian station. We found that our sea bags had already been sent on. We were on our way out to find a place to eat because we were hungry at this point, although, you know, they served us breakfast and dinner. It wasn't really worth eating. It had a kind of a waxy taste to it. We get out there and we lose Chris, or Kevin. Yeah, it's Kevin. We lose Kevin. Don't know where he's at. I have no idea. So Clay and I are running around. We're completely lost, and we don't speak any Italian. From what we could tell, nobody could speak any English. This girl came up from behind us, and in the most North Carolinian accent I've ever heard, says, "Are y'all lost?" I say, "Yes, we are." We turn around, and there's this blue-eyed blonde young lady standing there with a whole bunch of luggage of her own, and she hooked up with us. She was a missionary going to school in North Carolina. She lives in Naples. Her dad is stationed there, military, Army base or Navy base or what. He's not in the Navy. He's either Army or Air Force, one of the two. So she hooked up with us, got us fed, and the bars there are, like I said, interesting, but I'll get all of that later. Helped us find our terminal. We were stuck in Leonardo Airport for 12 hours. She was stuck there for 4, waiting to go on. And we walked all over the airport. You couldn't sit any place very long, or the guards came up with the Uzis and said, you know, please, senor, move along. So we did that. Finally, she got on her plane and headed out. Her name was Heather. 3 of us, after 4 hours of being mere strangers in the Italian airport, got to be pretty good friends. After she left, we hooked up with some guys who were headed to the Orion and stayed with them the rest of the time there, and found out a little bit more about the ship, a little bit more about Palau, Lamad here. And the sun is starting to come out, which is good because it looked like it was going to rain. I really didn't want to walk all the way back in the rain. Rode an Italian airplane. Those people, they fly like they drive. That was kind of scary. And we got there. We're flying along, and the guy, he goes up there at the runway, and all of a sudden he could just up. That you probably won't like, but there's no way around it now. And we're flying around there. You know, when we landed coming into Leonardo, the guy took 20 minutes circling and landing. I mean, it was a very slow process. The only time anything got scary was the discharge of fuel from the engine. You know, you could actually see flames shoot out. And I understand that was on purpose because none of the waitresses or not stewardesses seemed to be worried about it. Coming into Olbia, though, I mean, the guy, he's flying along, and all of a sudden he just like dropped down and dropped down and dropped down, and then we landed. It was a rough ride. Of course, it was also about midnight. And when we get there, we find out that the people at the Orion didn't even expect us. The duty driver, he meant to only have 1 passenger, and here he's got 5. So he took us all from Olbia Airport into Palau, where we caught the ferry, which took us over to the Orion. And we got there, and Shore Patrol had to find us a place to stay because nobody from Port Services, which is the water taxi that goes, you know, back and forth from Palau to Lamad to the site, which is what we call it, the site. The Shore Patrol had no idea where Port Services stayed, and since we weren't going to be on the boat or the ship, they knew that we weren't going to be there. So we missed the duty driver missed the first ferry out. So we had to wait a half hour for the second ferry. He was going to take us to a bar and get us a sandwich. The bars closed in our face. They wouldn't even open up to get extra business. So we had to hang around in very cold weather that night. The wind was blowing. To wait for the ferry. And when the ferry got there, we got there, Shore Patrol took us and stuck us in, I want to say clandestine hall, but that's not the name of it. The barracks we're living in now, which is like in a small apartment for 3 people. Sink, shower, 3 beds, 3 lockers, 3 dressers. It's pretty nice. We didn't do anything for 2 days, and then finally we started this I Division. We were attached to I Division. And I Division basically means we sat there every day from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, listening to people give us briefs on what to do, what not to do, this, that, and the other thing. It got pretty boring. And it was like 3 days later before anybody bothered to tell us where to turn our orders, and nobody, we'd say, oh, here's our orders. They go, oh, we'll get to that in a little bit, we'll get to that later. And we're like, look, you guys got to take our orders or we're not going to get paid. Damn it, we weren't paid. It's Friday now. The weekend's up. We still don't belong to anybody except Port Services. Like I said, I'm trying to sneak my way into JO, get attached to that. If that happens, hopefully I'll still be able to live. Well, hopefully I'll be living in Lamad. Lamad is a pretty nice place. Restaurants. Work at this backwards. I'm still getting to the bars. Restaurants. Our first night here, or not first night, we got here, we went to bed, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday. Where was I? Restaurants. I remember that, but I forgot what I was going to say. It's been a long climb. I was drinking all night last night. And I'm tired and I've got to go to the bathroom. So I'll wait till I get back down into town to do that. The restaurants here, we've tried 2 or 3 things. Fettuccine is good. I haven't tried the lasagna. They say the pizza definitely is not American. And if you were to order Domino's, it would take 3 days to get here. So we 3-day guarantee or less, they don't have. Calamari, which is fried squid. It's pretty good. I've eaten a lot of that. We've tried 4 or 5 restaurants around the area, and all of them have excellent food. Like I say, I'm getting fat. The bars here aren't like normal bars. You buy alcohol there, but you also get ice cream and sandwiches, and if you want to sit down, you got to pay for it, unless you sit down outside. But if you order a sandwich and they bring it to you, you got to pay extra. And I'm going to shut this off, go downtown and find a bathroom, probably head back to the ship, come back out. Well, it'll pick up when it picks up. I hope I'm in focus. And I'll probably just head back to the ship. But I got to talk to y'all. I am doing okay. I tell you, it's amazing just how much better somebody can concentrate after they've gone to the bathroom. I don't know what the side effects of it's going to be, because I just did it in the woods. What little woods there are. As you can see, not much has changed around here. I didn't even bother to go into town. See if you can see any of the details of the place a little bit better now. That's a road I understand they're going to make us run PT on. The lieutenant who's in charge of us, better view of the boat maybe. The lieutenant who's in charge of us, port services, don't know what that building is, seems to think that health and running go hand in hand. More than likely I'm going to be put on what's called the Fat Boy program. Not only is this place making me fat, but I naturally have that kind of body weight. Okay, we're back to that point. Like I said, before I stopped and went into the woods. Well, first off, I hope the leaves I wiped myself with don't give me some sort of a fungus. A lot of the guys I met in North Fork are here. Torres, Coffee, Spencer. Spencer's been with me always. Clay. A dude that black people here call Ice. Everybody calls Ice. Since the song Ice Ice Baby by Ice-T, every black guy is Ice. They can really get on your nerves sometimes with that Ice dog and whatever the latest song phase is. Let's see, what was I talking about? Oh, the bars. The bars, like I say, you can get drinks there. You get sandwiches there. If you want to eat, you go to a bar, you go to a restaurant. Bar for sandwiches. For a full meal, you go to the restaurant. Which here, after a while, I'm going to go down and I'm going to get me something to eat. The roads here are incredibly small. The 4x4 monster trucks couldn't even go down the main roads here. A regular sized van barely goes down the roads here. You know, side by side you can do it, but it's not easy. The streets in town, they're usually one way, and if you can't go down it, well, the ones like you saw earlier, they're on the outskirts of town. The ones through town, they're either one way or it's for foot traffic only, like I was trying to describe earlier, where the little carnival is at. From there to the Red Square, people walk. They dress up in the evening after like about 5 o'clock, and they just start walking from one end to the other, and they go back and forth, and they look at the shops, and they look at each other a whole lot, mainly to see how each other is dressed, and to strut their stuff more or less. A lot of vanity. Since there's nothing else to do around here, we've pretty much done that all week long. Go to Lamad, walk from the carnival up to the square, back, around, go to a restaurant, Here the big meal is lunch. 3 or 4 courses for lunch, and dinner is one small snack like a sandwich. We do it just the opposite. We don't eat lunch, we don't eat breakfast, we eat one big dinner. And after we get done walking around, we eat. Tony, he's the waiter at one of the restaurants. We've become good friends with him. He sets us up pretty good. If we don't know what we're doing, he speaks good enough English to correct us. And after we leave his place, we go down to Bar Limano. No, Bar Milano, not Limano. Bar Milano. And the people there, we've become a regular there every night, so they're used to seeing us come in about 9 o'clock, and they stay open pretty late, which is good for us because most of the Americans are used to staying open late and everything else closes around here about 9. So, there's no place for an American to go except for Bar Milano, and usually everybody goes home. Of course, the Americans are the only ones around here who get up anywhere near 4 o'clock. Like I say, it's a Saturday now, and this place, downtown, I guarantee you, hasn't opened up yet. And it's about 10 o'clock now. And no wonder I didn't wake up this morning when I wanted to. My alarm didn't go off. Trying to think of something else to say, something else to describe to you guys. The money is very strange here. You can tell which has the most value by the size. It's a big bill, it's worth a lot of money. If it's a small bill, it's not worth so much. They've got special coins called jetones for the telephones, and you can make one jetone last a lifetime because you put it in the phone, it comes back out. That was the way I called you guys, using a jetone. It's got grooves in it. One groove on one side and 2 grooves on the other side. What else? I should have written all this stuff down, I know. Hope everybody there is doing okay. I hope you can hear me. I know I'm quite a ways away. Let's see. Get here, the bars. I'm going to get a bicycle. By the time you guys get this, I'll probably already have it. There's a guy up there at the site who's got a bicycle, ATV bike, all-terrain bike, that he's wanting to sell for about $150. And I'm going to pick that up. And if I can ever find the exchange here, they say it's, a new big building. If I can find it, they say that I can order a Harley Davidson from that and pay about $100 a month on it, and I can have it shipped anywhere I want to. So don't be surprised if a big truck pulls up and delivers a Harley. But that's going to be probably about April when I start even thinking about that. I haven't been able to get hooked up with an AT&T card here, so if you guys can, go to the post office or telephone company or someplace and ask them for an application and send it off for me. I need sweaters too. If you get this while it's still wintertime, I need sweaters. I don't know. The rumor has it the ship's going out, and I won't be going with it because I'm part of port services. I just drive Liberty boats, and there'll still be people working on the site, and people going back and forth from Palau to Milano, so I'll still stay busy. They tell me I'm going to be stuck in a maintenance crew. Maintenance of the boats, tearing down the engines, taking them out, painting them, and all that good stuff, instead of actually driving them and hooking them up. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be painting them and ripping the engines out. which we already had a little bit of experience with. They had an oil leak in one of them, and the warrant officer here, I forget his name, but we showed up just to try to get some special requests just to get, well, for me to get the JO, and he put us to work. No big deal. I keep looking out over the landscape and going, so this is the Mediterranean. It's a different feeling sitting up here and looking out over this, because it sure as hell ain't Kansas and it ain't Arkansas. And if it were Kansas, I doubt if they would drive so many scooters. Motor scooters everywhere. What they do, they take these little mopeds, the pedal kind that first came out in the United States, and they bore out the engines in them. And they take like a little, it's about the equivalent of a lawnmower engine, and they turn it into a 200cc motorcycle engine. So these things, they little gas-powered motorcycles, basically small motorcycles running around. And their idea of motorcycle gangs are riding Honda Ninjas. You see thousands of those on Thursday nights. Thursday night's a big night. Wednesday night they shut down the town. Thursday night is a party night. Friday night they shut down early. Everything was closed last night by about 8 o'clock. The sun has really come out. Even in the wintertime, you look down at the water, and it's so incredibly clear that you can see about 60 feet down. You can see the bottom about 60 feet down. And they say in the summertime it's crystal clear with, looking down, looking out over it, it's almost sapphire blue. Right now, trying to find housing here, a couple of people I know are trying to find housing. Coffee is, it's impossible, damn near impossible, because everything is so outrageous. I mean, the prices here are unreal. Of course, it's kind of hard to convert lira into dollars, but you look at the lira and you take off 3 zeros and you kind of got the value of it. Like 10 million, it's about $10. And Coca-Cola here, or Coca, Fanta, not sun-kissed orange, but Fanta. It's about $3 a can. And beer is like $3 a can. Wine you can get by the gallons for next to nothing. But food here is outrageous. Like I said, it's kind of like Arkansas in the 1920s and 1930s. It's kind of also like downtown New York about the same time period, I guess. In that they don't have a Kmart where you go in and there's a general store there. They have general stores, but they generally sell one thing. Like there's a liquor store. It doesn't sell wine. There's a separate store that sells wine. There's a grocery store. They sell lunch meat. You want meat, you go to the butcher shop. Boutiques and jewelry stores. Boutiques don't sell jewelry stores, and jewelry stores don't sell dresses, and neither one of them sells outfit accessories, from what I've gathered. That way you've got to go around. And they've got receipt police. If you buy something and the store doesn't give you a receipt, and these guys show up and they go, let me see the receipt, and you don't have the receipt, they'll fine you and they'll fine the storekeeper for not paying his taxes. Gas here is probably about, I'm not certain, but I saw a pump the other day and it looked like it was about $6.50 a gallon. It's the Mediterranean. I see our barge boat is going out. I think it's our barge boat. What else to talk about? The money, the restaurants, bars. Oh, we met a guy here the other day when Scott, our sponsor, was walking us around. His name was Luigi. And Luigi, they say, is crazy. He was hard to understand because he wasn't just speaking Italian. He was throwing in German and French and Dutch and a couple other languages we didn't know. The conversation was kind of different. He talked about everything from his hernia operation to his hemorrhoids to President Bush to an automobile that he was trying to sell us, to a 14-year-old prostitute that he was trying to sell us, to ham radios that talk to the states. From what I gather, he's very rich, and he's probably like a don in the mafia here, local mafia. Although they'll deny that it exists here. That's all in Sicily, they say. And it's true. From what everybody says, it's all in Sicily. They say he's a good guy to get in touch with if you need anything that's hard to get, or if you want to buy anything and bargain down the price. He's the guy to talk to. And Angelo makes a mean salami sandwich. He's also a good guy, they say, to know. And we've kind of gotten to know him. And it's getting a little chilly again. What else to talk about, really? I have no idea, really. I really don't. I had planned a whole bunch of things to say, a whole bunch of things to show you. I'm not in the clowning mood. So I think I'm going to stop for a while, go back down into town. Maybe grab a sandwich. Well, it's still... Town is open. My bracelet is finally coming apart. I have to find a way to make a new one. And since I didn't get much sleep, like I say, I was drinking last night. I had to teach the bartender how to make a Bloody Mary. They had no idea how. Yeah, we finished up. We got back about 1 o'clock. And we started drinking beer. I don't know what time it was. We went to bed. There's not a whole lot to do. That's why I'm trying to collect toys. I'm trying to get this thing going. If I can get J.O., I can start studying for that. And that'll keep me occupied. The Etch-a-Sketch keeps me occupied. I bought an Etch-a-Sketch. Excuse me. If I get the bicycle and a backpack, which I want you to send me my backpack. It's either in the red backpack in the closet, little book bag thing that I got, little blue one. Send that to me, along with my weight belt. I got a great gym here. I'm going to start going to that, working out probably every day after I get off work for about an hour and a half. They've got mosquitoes here. I'm trying to come up with an entire agenda just to keep me occupied. Because I can go rock climbing up around in these places here. I can go riding. The Etch-a-Sketch keep me busy. The drawing will keep me busy. They say winter here is the hardest time. In the summertime there are nude beaches, and women from all over the world come here. They say the Russian women are the scariest because they love to party. The other day a bunch of Americans in Palau got into a fight with a bunch of Italians, and from what they say, the Americans are now serving a lot of time in Leavenworth. I cut myself. Oh well. I just swallowed a bug. Bugs are coming out. Must be getting warmer. Can't tell it. But they say the wintertime here is really the hardest. And since I got here in the wintertime, I'm going to know what to make of it. I know what to expect next time around. Shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever. Shouldn't have. Because I'm trying to find things to keep myself busy. They're going to offer a scuba diving class. I can become a certified scuba diver. And if I get JO, I can also strike for being a diver. I could be a diving JO. I know I'm going to snorkel around here, and they say in the summertime that we can actually rent a yacht for the weekend. And Torres is really talking hard about doing that. So hopefully I've come up with a lot of things that's going to keep me occupied that are very cheap. Can't think of much. So I'm going to call it quits right now. I'm going to go back, and if nothing else, I'm going to go to sleep. I came all the way up here because I didn't want to sit in the room and talk to myself and have my roommates who can get out on their own, but they don't like to. And myself, you know me, I like to get out by myself sometimes. This is just fine with me. This is, I think, the longest I've talked in a long time. I'm just starting out, keep going. Hopefully I can catch a ride back down and make it to the ferry. The seagulls are busy.